Okay, well tonight for you guys, I'm going to be making an eggplant parmesan. And what we got to do first is turn the burner on, because every successful eggplant parmesan that I've ever heard of has a little bit of heat. So I'll just follow suit. Okay, so what we got here is we've got one onion, and that's going to get chopped up. But first I'm going to put the hamburger in, because there's no use for extra oil and stuff when you got the fat from the hamburger. This is a 2-pound chub of beef. I'm only going to use 1 pound and freeze the other half. So what we're going to do is we're going to plop this baby in here. Maybe not so easily. There we go. Yep, there's the plop. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the hamburger in the pot and get that to start cooking. Get me some kind of a utensil to stir with would be nice. And we're just going to start cooking this baby up right here while we chop up the onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this onion, a whole onion, and make sure all the skin is off. Didn't get that part of skin off. Get the skin off of it, because you don't want those hard, brownish, dried out pieces in your food. So while the hamburger is starting to brown, probably should have had my burner already on, but I didn't. You just want to take and chop up your onion and then add that to it and have those cooking away together. I think onion and meat together cooking just makes your house smell so good. Such an inviting, homey, sit down and have a plate of food type of smell. So there we go, we got that half. You don't have to use a whole onion if you don't want to, but me and the hubby, we really like onion cooked. I like it cooked. I don't like it raw so much, he does, but onion's good. And once it's all cooked down and stuff, it doesn't really have a strong onion taste anyways. It just makes everything taste better. Don't want it too overpowering, at least that's the way I feel. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give that a stir-the-roo there and get that grease start melting down and getting the pan to where it's nice and greased up so that the onions and the hamburger don't stick and everything. So you just want to stir it a little bit and get that grease going there. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to put a whole thing of mushrooms in here to cook up with the hamburger. We also like a lot of mushrooms, so put a whole container of mushrooms in there. And what we're going to do now is just let this cook, brown up, and I'm going to do that off camera, and I will come back and after I've cooked and drained this mixture and go on to the next step. Okay, well I have my hamburger, my onions and my mushrooms cooked up and drained, and what I have here, I got this on sale at Grocery Outlet for 99 cents, so I got a few of them. So that's what I've been using in my episodes lately. It's chunky ragu, tomato, garlic, and onion. Now I'm not going to put the whole container in here because I only did cook a pound of hamburger, and you don't want this mixture to be too runny or too liquidy at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit in there and just eyeball it and then stir it around. Make sure that this hamburger mixture is on the thicker side, because like I said, for the dish that we're making tonight, we're using eggplant. Eggplant will give off a lot of water when it's cooking too, so you really don't want this a really soupy eggplant parmesan. And that looks good right there. So now that that's done, and it looks like this, if you can see, that's going to be put off to the side for right now. Got some oil heating up in this pan right here. Now I found this House of Sang cooking oil for stir fries, and it has garlic and onion and herbs, and it's made for high heat. And it's really good. It has a really nice garlic flavor, so I'm thinking that with my eggplant tonight, whoa, that just popped me in the eyeball. I had a little bit of water in my pan, and yeah, that stung like a bitch. Okay, so anyways, I never dry my pans thoroughly, so I always get splattered. And remembering my tip, putting the handle out there. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, cut off the end of the eggplant. We're going to, whoa, that is sparking like a son of a bitch. Okay, so we're going to get these and cut these off in 1/2-inch slices and try not to have too much of a kitchen burn tonight. I'm like dodging grease. This is not good. This is like a blooper. Hello? Stop! Ah! Ah!
What, dude?
I'm getting splattered.
Well, turn it down.
I gotta turn this off for a second. Okay, people, I got these eggplants cut in 1/2-inch slices. Learn from my mistake. Make sure the pan is thoroughly dry before you add oil and turn it up to a high heat. I got burns all over my body. That was like a fireworks display. Oh boy. Yeah, I had to keep that part in there though so that you guys will learn from my mistake. Because I'm nothing if not a test dummy for you folks. So anyways, or just a plain dummy. So now we're going to take this garlic and pepper seasoning, and somebody had said that I don't use salt. Well, that's because this garlic and pepper seasoning does have salt in it, so this is kind of like an all-in-one mixture here. It's got your salt, your garlic, your pepper, you're good to go. Okay, so what we're going to do with these is try not to get burned anymore. That's step one, very important step. We're going to cook these in the oil, the garlic-infused oil, until they're soft. And I'm not going to film that on camera because if I do end up with third-degree burns and in the hospital and stuff, I don't think you guys really want to see it too much. So I'm going to just turn the camera off while I'm finishing up cooking these eggplant until they're soft, or on the softer side. It don't have to be completely soft because it is going to go into a 350-degree oven for an hour. So I'm just going to get these softened up a bit, come back, and show you how to assemble this bad boy. So stay tuned. Okay, just have to remind you once again, and myself, because I usually always use pans that are a little bit wet after I've washed them and stuff. Don't do that, because I've got splatter burns all over me now. Good lesson for you, the viewer. Good lesson for me, the idiot. Okay, so I guess that tonight's episode can be called Sue's Quick and Stupid. And so we got the rest of the eggplant pretty much done. It's on the softer side. I'm not going to drain the olive oil off of this. Well, actually, I started off with the garlic sang oil, and then I switched to some olive oil. I'm not going to drain the oil off of these for a couple of reasons. Right here, I have my sprayed pan, and if these are overlapped a little bit, that's okay. And sprayed my pan with a non-stick cooking spray. And the reason why I want to leave the oil, because of for the flavor, because I tried this recipe one time where I totally drained the oil off of these eggplant and I patted them with paper towels, and it was not as good as if you leave the oil on there. So just try to get a healthier version of a type of oil if you're doing this recipe. So here's my eggplant, and I'm just going to put my hamburger mixture over the eggplant, and it looks like it's just enough. I love when something works out, because obviously that oil and water thing don't mix. Okay, so what we want to do is we just want to scrape the bottom of this pan, get all the yummy bits off the bottom of the pan, all the extra onions and everything else. And then you just want to spoon it over like so. And like I said, the eggplant doesn't have to be cooked all the way soft yet. Just get it, get it tender and get it soft, but not mushy, because this will be cooking in a preheated 350-degree oven for an hour. So you don't have to be too strict about that. And what we're going to do is, this is our product before it goes into the oven. It's going to go into a 350-degree. Oh, crapola. Oh, no. Okay, guys, I made a mistake. Oh, boy. Let me come back and see if I can correct this mistake. Tonight's show just isn't working out for me.
What happened?
Tonight's episode is a what not to do and a lesson in recovery, because I totally messed up. I think those third-degree burns to the brain kind of threw me off my game here. I forgot to tell you the second reason why I didn't drain the olive oil off of the eggplants. Some people, what they'll do is they'll take these eggplants they'll take the eggplants before they're fried, they'll put an egg wash on it, they'll batter it, and then they'll put it in here. But I'm quick and easy, so I don't do it that way. As you can see, I've taken most of the hamburger mixture back off of the eggplant. Yes, you can recover a meal even if you think you've royally screwed up or royally burned yourself. You can recover a meal. So what I like to do is, there's oil on here already, so that'll be my mock egg wash, and it'll help make this stick. I just spread, what I do, I just spread a little bit of the breadcrumbs over it so that it's not as much work, and you really don't notice any difference once it's all cooked up and stuff. So that's my trick. That's my little quick cooking kitchen tip. So let's try this again, folks, and see if we can get it right this time. I am so off my game. Okay, now that the breadcrumbs are on here, I think that we're ready. Oh man, I feel like such an idiot. Okay. So now I'm going to, once it's done the right way, put this hamburger mixture back on top of the eggplant. The hamburger mixture's like, I think I've seen you a little bit before, but now you look a little different, and you feel a little different too. Okay, I think I went off my rocker there. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Get the white jackets, folks. Okay, so I think I just heard crickets, and I'm not joking. I just really thought I heard crickets. I think I received a head injury somehow during the show. Anyways, this is not a junk cooking show. This is just a Sue being retard show. Okay, here it is. My eggplant that's breaded with breadcrumbs, cooked in garlic oil and olive oil, layered over top sometimes. My hamburger, mushroom, and onion mixture is going into, and the ragu. And it's going into a preheated 350-degree oven for 1 hour, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product and hopefully a taste test. Whew. Okay, well here's the finished product, and it looks mighty yummy. All the cheese is melted, and I'm going to cut into this baby and do a little bit of a taste test and hope my tongue doesn't get burnt, because it's probably going to be pretty hot. But I can tell that the eggplant is cooked nice and thoroughly, and this is going to be one cheesy delight. Okay, so I think I'm ready for my taste test. It's a little bit hot. A little bit of hot sauce on this will really just kick up the flavor and give you a good result too if you like that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm going to blow on this for a little bit. Yeah. That's very tasty. So, remember, keep it safe, keep it fun, and keep it delicious. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. See you next time.